This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Most Valuable Promotions and Netflix are hosting a blockbuster triple headliner Saturday, May 16th. Ronda Rousey returns to face fellow women's MMA pioneer Gina Carano in the main event. Plus co-mains Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry. And the best heavyweight in the world, Francis Ngannou versus Felipe Lins. Watch Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano, live only on Netflix. Saturday, May 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time.
War Eagle, and welcome to another episode of Ever to Podcast. This is the show here at E2C Network where our goal is to catch you up on the latest Auburn news, topics, discussions, scuttlebutt, rumors, things that you need to be aware of while you're out about discussing and sharing in the Auburn experience. To us, that's all about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, and Auburn family. But the easier way always to say it is, if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us here on episode 100 of Ever to Podcast. Today's date is May 15th, 2026. And as always, I am your host, Kyle Loomis. 100 episodes of this particular series. It has been a little bit of a journey to kind of find the identity for what this series was going to be. Started out as kind of a almost every weekday type of situation last summer. And then we morphed into more of a every couple times a week. And here we are, at least at this time period, doing this on Thursday evenings, having it prepared for you on Friday morning when you wake up to round out your Auburn week and to get you prepared for Auburn weekends. And it's been a fun time trying to figure out what works there. And as we said last week, as we move into a slower time in the Auburn news cycle, it can be something that we alter again if our listeners deem it so. So always give us feedback. We'll give you the avenues to do that at the end of the show as always. But just wanted to say thank you for once again giving me another opportunity to put my voice out there in another format on this podcast feed for 100 episodes of Ever to Podcast. It's been a good ride so far. I'd like to keep it going. So let's keep this show going. Episode 100. Here we go. As always, we'll catch you up with the latest different news stories that have been out there in each of the different sports spaces and then some university and other things as well, as we always talk about sports, culture, and family. And at the end, with what little events, but there's a lot going on too, but just not as many variety. The calendar of events for the week that you need to be aware of, the weekend, I should say, that you need to be aware of. So let's get rolling here. Plenty to talk about as always, as we have been doing in the spring. We'll start with the spring sports and baseball headlining us for that. As always has been the case, a lot of awards and things being handed out because of how well Auburn as a team has been doing, but also individuals as well. If you weren't familiar, Ethan Bingaman, as I've on the main show asked us all to start calling it Ethan Dingaman because he hits dingas. I know it's lame, but just give me that at least. He got SEC Freshman of the Week. It's wild to think of him as just a freshman. I feel like he's been around forever, just the way he's been performing this year. I think this is his third of the year at this point or something like that. Auburn's had quite a few SEC of the Week, whether it was freshman player of the it feels like almost every week they have somebody like that. But this week it's Ethan Bingaman, so congrats to him. Well earned after his performance last weekend. The rankings for this week as we came into it, Auburn is still a consensus top 6 team, but just to give you a perspective across the 5 different rankings, one has them as high as 4, 3 have them at 5, and the last one has them at 6. So we can't say consensus top 5. The average is 5. We'll go with that. So however you like to say it, but officially it is a consensus top 6 team across all the things. Now, that's where the good vibes not necessarily ended, but, shifted a little bit. They ran into the buzzsaw this year in terms of mid-majors. That is Jacksonville State at their place. I continue to tell you all, don't sleep on these teams in the middle of the week, especially teams in the state like Jacksonville State. They lost 1-4. Over there in Jacksonville, Alabama. It's a ranked loss, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but certainly to get swept by your in-state opponent is not a great thing for Auburn ever, or anybody for that matter. Really cool baseball news here that started today, actually. There was the announcement made, and I feel like this was news that may have been out there but not officially stated as of yet, but the announcement came this week and today that the radio booth in Plainsman Park, where we listen to Andy Bertram and Brad Law, and formerly of former partner of Andy Bertram and the voice of Auburn Tigers, Rod Bramblett, will officially be renamed to the Rod Bramblett home radio booth at Plainsman Park, and that is well deserved. In some ways, it maybe feels like it should have happened sooner. I always caution people with those type of statements, though, because it feels almost like you're saying something was wrong or something like that. These things take time. You have to remember there was a big renovation happening for that booth as well. So you have to always time these things out quite nicely. And you want to find the right weekend to make that happen. And also make sure that everything's okay with the family to do that at that point, too. So very big honor for the former voice of the Auburn Tigers and posthumously, but and certainly his family will obviously be very proud of that honor. And as I said, well-deserved. We do miss Rod Bramblett very much, but happy with our radio crew that we have now also that carries on for him. Some more awards for this week. Frankly, I'll be honest with you, this was the first time that I heard this one. It's like the Dick Hauser Award, which is another one of these for the best baseball players out there. It was interesting. Guevara and Petrovic were the ones that were nominated for that, but just some more of those lists that are circulating out there right now. Yeah, so this is kind of a preview of the weekend. The baseball series has already started with Georgia. Huge top, essentially 5 matchup here at Plainsman Park with a lot on the line in terms of honoring. We already talked about with Rod, but the Josh Donaldson Wall of Fame edition and honoring seniors and all that kind of stuff. It was a great game, but the loss does go to Auburn in the first one. They lose 1-2 to the Georgia Bulldogs. Just couldn't get the bats going to support Marciano, who only gives up 2 tonight, but just not enough to get the win against a team like Georgia. You got to get a little bit more out there when you have the opportunities to do so. A couple more games left. Even though softball's wrapped up, we still got some news for them. If you're looking for the future, get to know the name Bella Maria. They put out there this week that she is now the newly crowned career hits leader for her high school, Donovan Catholic, with 172 career hits. Just a little bit of a tease to get you ready as we're trying to wash away this past season and look forward to the future for Auburn softball. Basketball scheduling news. Those of you that know me and know how much I like to talk about this on the regular show know how excited I get about things like this. To be clear, we did report on this as it was reported out there that this was going to be announced officially this week, official. Auburn and Wisconsin will take on each other at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee on December 19th, which will obviously put it right around the time that it feels like it typically happens for, I think it's the same time Holiday Hoops Given usually happens. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Shortly before Christmas. Big matchup up there with a program that's always relevant in college basketball. Auburn obviously is as well, in a city that's very favorable to Auburn. So it will feel maybe hopefully a little bit like a neutral home court advantage for the Tigers. I'm excited for that one personally. Other basketball news, this is more kind of a shifting in the pros. The NBA Draft Combine is going on this week, and if you remember, our guy Keyshawn Hall got the opportunity to go compete. I don't really have any notes in front of me about how he did, but we know that he is a scoring machine and that he's very versatile, has shown that throughout his career. So hopefully he can find a home as he competes in the NBA Draft Combine workouts, the games that they'll play. He's out there competing right now. So congrats, yes, but good luck to Keyshawn Hall. If you're still interested in learning about the new team that's going to be coming in for Coach Larry Vickers in year 2, they put out their full, what looks like Plainsman portal list here for their team. They retained about 6 from the last year's roster and are bringing about 6 more. If you want to learn all their names, get to know some of them, I would highly recommend you do that. Got a returning name as well, we talked about in the previous episode, someone that left and came back. So the team, it looks like it's pretty much set for the season as we get ready to go. We talk about a lot of signings for other sports. We'll do our best to report on these when they're out there. And this is one of those sports where I'm just going to always butcher your last name, so I may not even try to attempt it. But for swimming and diving, they just announced another addition for their team. His first name is Arsen, and he comes from Kazakhstan. But he was signed by Auburn Swimming and Diving. I will not do you the dishonor of mispronouncing your name, because even if even with my practicing, I'm still going to mess it up. So we'll get it down at some point.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/small business.
You may think you know McDonald's drinks, but you don't know them like this. From fruity refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry-flavored Sprite topped with cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here. Try them all, now at McDonald's. Refreshers contain caffeine.
Men's golf news. Obviously, plenty of it out there, but the main thing to focus on this week as they prep for their regional play, award season, and awards finalists and stuff like that. Once again, the Ben Hogan Award, the Heisman, essentially, for men's golf is once again having Jackson Coyven attached to it. He is one of the 3 finalists for the Ben Hogan Award, rightfully so. 3 years at Auburn, 3 years as a semifinalist. I mean, just wild what he has accomplished in such a short amount of time here as an Auburn Tiger and as on the national stage of collegiate men's golf. The women, been telling you not to forget about them. Certainly there's a lot of noise being made by the men's golf team, but the women's golf team went to Louisville and competed in their regional play and had to kind of come from behind a little bit, but ends up as a team winning their regional play at Louisville, powered by their star player, Anna Davis, who does end up taking the individual title as well. Molly Brown finished tied for 6th, tied for 13th, tied for 30th, tied for 50th. That's kind of how the scoring all broke down. 17 under after 3 rounds in Louisville. Auburn Women's Golf wins that regional and heads on to nationals and will compete for a national title. A lot of good things going on in spring golf. More on that note, with Anna Davis winning that individual title for the regional, that now makes her the career wins leader in Auburn women's golf program history, with 6, I believe, is what her total number is. That's just incredible by herself. I mean, let's just honor her in that way. But let's kind of take it over in the overarching Auburn sense. If you're aware, we've talked about it. Jackson Coyven also did that this year. So in the exact same year, Auburn men's and women's golf had someone eclipse and set the new career wins record in the same year. Tell me there's not great stuff going on at Auburn. If you're someone who believes that, you're just not well informed. If you're listening to this show, at least you should be at least a little bit more informed. I'm not going to act like I know everything, but you do know some things here. So what a great honor and a cool thing for Auburn women's golf. And just on top of that, because of their performance this past regional play in the scoreboard rankings, they come in at number 6 as they enter into an opportunity to compete for a national title. And with that win, it brings the program up to their record of wins in the season, 6 total wins. It felt like we flip-flopped this week where all of the accolades and all the things we're talking about in men's golf, they're kind of off right now until they start competing for a regional. But the women, hey, pay attention to them, man. They're doing great things too, if I haven't said that enough already. Track and field, big week for track and field with what they're hosting right now in the SEC Championship. Round 1 is already in the books as of Thursday night. They started the week, though, in the rankings, both men's and women's. The men at number 7. They've been hovering around like 6, 7, maybe 8. Oh, Lord, I just did the thing. Oh, please, don't do it. Y'all know, you'll know. The women, though, right in there at the top 25 with number 25 in the rankings, as both squads got ready to compete in what they're hosting this week, the SEC Championships. Really cool. Hutzel-Rosen track is historic. It is need a lot of renovation and finally got that this past year. And so now they are hosting the SEC Championship. It is really cool. I really hate that my schedule didn't work out this week, this year in general. It's just been a crazy year to go to some of these historic things like that because I love that. And I think we need to promote these things more. But they're having a great time hosting all of the SEC there right now and having a pretty good start so far with already a few points being scored. One of those being Sophia Mazzoni, who broke her own Auburn freshman javelin record, scoring some points for Auburn as a team for the SEC championship, but just already eclipsing her mark as well. Just a quick little shout out already in that time. Speaking of schedule news, we got some football schedule news. You're like, Kyle, what could we be talking about schedule-wise? We have a game time. Now, if you pay attention, you know that this isn't like big, bold news. Everyone knows that the Aflac, or whatever, I think it used to be the Chick-fil-A kickoff game in Atlanta, the game at Mercedes-Benz that opens up every year, it's a 2:30 kickoff. It has been forever. I struggle to think, maybe there's been a few that started at night, but I think we all knew this was going to be a 2:30 kickoff. Thankfully, it's indoors in August. So Auburn versus Baylor on ABC, 2:30 p.m. Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Time, kickoff, game time. Let's go, baby. It's going to be here before you know it. Soccer news, a couple things this week. If you ever wanted to try out tailgating for soccer, you can for the upcoming friendly match between Argentina and Iceland leading up to the World Cup. We'll be there, but you can actually tailgate with Coach Armstrong and kind of learn what it's like to tailgate before a soccer match. So that's out there if you want to check that out. They've been making some posts about that. A signee for them being brought in Hannah Bell, who will be coming in as a potential goal scorer. She is the 2023 Southland Forward and Freshman of the Year. So obviously she's done some big things with her career already. I think this is her final year of eligibility, if I'm not mistaken. More scheduled news. This is the show for you if you're a scheduled person. I know I am. This week we got the completion of the Auburn volleyball schedule. Now I won't do all of that here. We'll probably do some more detail about that on the Auburn Experience, but that's been posted out there. They've been doing some piecemeal of that with non-conference record SEC opponents, and now we've got it all spaced out and dates out there. So Auburn volleyball is set for the season. Mark your calendars where you can come if you're going to be in town for other events, because I know that makes it a little bit easier for that, but it's a great program and you need to come out and support them when you can. They'll also be hosting Alumni Weekend now that the schedule's out on October 23rd to the 25th if you want to participate or watch that as well. So we got some university news, and it is still sports related. We like to give shout outs where they're due. The ice hockey club team that a lot of people love and wish was a NCAA team and had their own location at Auburn, certain facility we talked about on the Auburn Experience show that should be utilized. I'm just saying, you can go watch that episode if you want and hear us talk about that. But they are now having tryouts for the next season if you want to go participate in that, if you're a student or know a student that might be up for that. And we're going to do a special shout out here. This is more of an Auburn community thing. They reached out to us on our YouTube channel. Auburn Community Robotics is an organization that's supporting robotic education and competition, obviously for those of a younger age, but you can visit auburnrobotics.org if you want to learn about that and all that's going on. Looks really cool looking at their website right now. So just wanted to give them a little bit of a shout out. We do love to give other Auburn groups, organizations, a little bit of a spotlight when we have the opportunity to do so. So there you go. So that is all of your news for the week. But let's give you, as is becoming more increasingly here, a diminishing variety of events on your weekend calendar of events, especially for athletics. So this is for Friday the 15th, Saturday the 16th, and Sunday the 17th. Friday, track and field continues in day 2 of the SEC championships. Women's tennis will take on in a rematch LSU in the quarterfinals, a rematch of the SEC championship, which was a little bit scary there. But they're competing in Athens in the quarterfinals for that versus LSU. Baseball will continue in game 2 versus Georgia, Saturday the 16th. Big Cat Weekend is going on for you Auburn recruiting junkies, and I do mean recruiting junkies because you know that's what you are. I used to be one of those too. Sorry. Women's tennis would have the opportunity, if they were to win the day before, to play in the semifinals. I believe either Pepperdine or Ohio State would be the matchup if that were to happen for them. Baseball will continue and finish, I should say, in game 3 of the UGA series and honoring seniors and all that on Saturday. And then Sunday, the only thing that could potentially happen, it's not even official, if Auburn women's tennis makes it to the finals for an opportunity to compete and play for a national title. That is the only thing going on Sunday. So that is what you should be locked into if that happens. Good luck to everybody this weekend. A lot of exciting things happening on the Plains, a lot of exciting things happening in Athens because of women's tennis, and then the men's golf team will be there on Monday to start their regional play as well. Number 1 seed who plays in Athens, go figure. I digressed about that on the last episode, but anyway. That's it. That's your calendar events. That's your news. And that is your episode 100 of Ever to Podcast. Once again, I want to thank you all so much for allowing us to do this for 100 episodes. And I hope that you find it hopefully somewhat entertaining, somewhat valuable, and want us to continue to do that. We're always looking for feedback on our direct messages on social media. That's an easy way to utilize that if you'd like. There's also the opportunity to send us an email at e2cnetwork@gmail.com. I want to always encourage you to check out our main show, the Auburn Experience. Episode 172 is out now with plenty that you should check out, and that with Austin and myself. And as always, as we go, I remind you, the Auburn Creed asks you to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. We ask you to do the same thing. War Eagle.